That's exactly like saying, Nazism is really not a bad system. It's just that Adolf Hitler was the wrong guy. He was the wrong guy to administer it. It had never been tried correctly. What we need is democratic Nazism.
From the Asgard Company Studios in beautiful Wichita Falls, Texas, from the finest mind in the modern fitness industry, the one true voice in the strength and conditioning profession, the most important podcast on the internet. Ladies and gentlemen, starting Strength Radio.
Welcome back to Starting Strength Radio. In these trying times, we are still here. Isn't it fascinating that we are not afraid to come into the expansive studios of Starting Strength, the Asgard Company here in beautiful downtown Wichita Falls? We all are here at work. There are 3 people in this room besides me, none of them any more than 4 feet apart. Oh, God. I just ratted y'all out, didn't I?
And we're only mentally ill.
Sorry for that little edit. We had to make sure the low T guy in the back had his microphone available to him. You never know. You never know when one of these 3 people is going to have something valuable to contribute to the program. It won't be often, but it does occur. All right. Most important, of course, is our internet researcher, Bree Hillen. Bree answers questions that, on the unlikely event that I don't know something, she finds it on the internet in a timely manner, feeds it to us. Of course, even if it wasn't timely, we can edit, just like this. Anytime the camera shifts, that's an edit. You guys knew that, right? All right. So anyway, I had to blow my nose or cough or something like that. Let's get this over with, shall we? Every time I lean into the mic, everybody knows what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to do this reverb thing. Comments from the haters. Pretty lame this time, actually. Rip is so fat that I tried to drive around him and ran out of gas. This is kind of like these are like Chuck Norris jokes, right?
Your mama jokes.
Oh, yeah. Rip is so old that he dreams in reruns. Yeah, they're yo mama things. Right? Rip is so fat, if you're in the same room with him, you're standing right next to him. Rip is so fat, his blood type is ragu. That's actually kind of funny. You think this is a converted yo mama joke, or is that what all these are?
That's what these are.
These are already, so this guy didn't invent these. So he's actually committing plagiarism. Yeah, these are all the same dumbass. Yeah.
You don't have any Italian in you, do you? Because that would be racist if you did.
No, no Italian at all.
So he's off
No Italian at all.
Yo mama jokes are public domain.
Are they? They're not plagiarism protected. Okay, well, that's fine. They're just, you're just chicken shit for using them, right? Okay. Here's a good one. This guy is fucking idiot. Always grumpy about something. Oh, shit. Let's see, one more. I've been oiling my barbell nearly every day since quarantine. Is this normal? This is what we're reduced to here.
I'm oiling my 2 times a day.
Oiling our barbell, yes. Once a day. All right, and that's comments from the haters. Okay. All right. Here's a little update. I've got this note here. You see my little pad here? See what it says on top?
Cannibalism.
Because cannibalism. What the hell did I write that on here for? What was I thinking about?
I think that was the episode where
Is
we were talking about cannibalism.
the food shortage?
Yeah, we were talking about homeless
the impending.
people.
Oh, eating the homeless?
Yeah.
What if they're sick?
Well, that's why you cook it first.
Cook them first. Oh, well, it's a good point. Cooking kills germs.
Yeah. Well done.
Kills the COVID-19 virus. Surely enough. I think I was wondering why the homeless population of San Francisco has not been completely wiped out by COVID-19. And it occurs to me that the reason they haven't been wiped out by COVID-19 is because they all already had it and they didn't die. Because it must not be that big a deal, or the homeless would have been killed by it. Right? Here's a little secret. Everybody went to Vegas and did the seminar in Las Vegas. Came back from Las Vegas and got sick about a week and a half, 2 weeks later. And I had it. Nick had it. Kids had it. How come Kathy didn't get it? What's the deal with her? Asians don't get it, right? Like China.
Herd immunity.
Herd immunity. They're born with it, right? She's Asiatic at some level, So the Asiatics don't get it. And everybody else does, I guess. The Italians, God help you if you're Italian, you're just sitting there waiting to die, aren't you? Well, not really, but it's good if it looks like
all that
it.
extra hand movement.
The hand waving. That's what spreads it
fucking
both
coronavirus.
scatters the coronavirus around, right? And it brings it to you. Has to have something to do with it. I mean, didn't we speculate that if you tie an Italian's hands behind his back, he's mute? Did we speculate on that a few shows ago?
Yeah.
I think I remember saying that. And then we got somebody to agree with us, so it must be true. Anyway, that's what the cannibalism note came from. You can see it here that's why I was wondering about it. All right, this is, we're recording this on Tuesday, just so you guys will know. What's today's date? 14th? Tuesday the 14th of April. You'll be seeing this on Friday, the 17th of April, right? Is that right? Friday the 17th? As of today, here in our little hamlet of Wichita Falls, we've had, Wichita County's had 56 cases of the COVID-19 virus. It was 52 last week. There are 5 people in the hospital as of today. 5 people total in the hospital for COVID-19. The ICU is empty. As of yesterday, there was nobody in the ICU. And there have been no deaths. Not one single death.
ER is seeing about 10 people a day.
ERs, yeah.
20 people a shift.
Yeah. One of our guys at the gym that works in the ER says he sees
usually 30,
35 a shift. And he's seeing 10 or 11 a shift right now. And he said last night, he worked last night till that when he got back from lunch at 11 p.m., from 11 to 3, they had nobody in the ER.
And no elective surgeries happening.
No elective surgeries are happening anywhere, probably in the United States. Certainly not here. The dentist's offices are all closed. The dermatologist's offices are all closed, so they're not diagnosing melanomas. No, this is certainly not an overreaction to anything, is it?
I found an interesting thing here from Travis County.
Yeah,
We have
Austin.
Starting strength Austin.
Our friends in Austin, Travis County.
So they've issued an executive order, I guess allowing some things to start happening. But
Allowing, I like that word.
Yeah, allowing.
Allowing.
Here's an interesting clause.
Right.
Individuals experiencing homelessness.
Experiencing homelessness.
So this is after a whole, 7
This
days.
is what happens when you get Californians moving to Travis County.
Individuals experiencing homelessness are exempt from this order.
They're exempt because they're, of course, not going to catch a disease
They are sheltering in place.
because they're sheltering in sidewalk.
Except to the extent that individuals are using shared or outdoor spaces. They shall, to the greatest extent feasible, comply with social distancing and face covering requirements as set forth in Section 1. Who's going to tell them?
Is anyone explained that to
Who's
them?
going to tell them?
I don't know. I know it's a good question. They
It's
just.
a good job maybe for our gym, our coaches. Maybe they can go around.
I think it's a good job for the mayor of Austin
drive around and
to drive around, get out of the car, get out of the limo,
let them know, hey, you guys are.
and hey, y'all don't have to worry about this shit. All the business owners, the poor bastards that own Franklin's Barbecue and Threadgills and shit, they're all out of business. But you homeless people, those of you who are currently experiencing homelessness, y'all are fine. Y'all are fine. Just carry on. You're doing the Lord's fucking work here, right? That's what. Yeah, that's excellent. But, God,
Genius.
this is the most, I don't understand it. You don't understand it either. Those of you watching us on a regular basis here on the Starting Strength Radio podcast,
Well, you just want old people
you're
to
as
die.
puzzled as we are.
You just want old people
That's
to
right.
die.
I just want old people to die.
Including yourself, by the way.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm 64. I had it, though. I'm telling you, I had this. That's the symptoms. Everybody's talking about the dry cough. You guys remember this. It was during the seminar in March. I was sick. I got sick, kind of, on Thursday. Friday, I was pretty much sick. Saturday, I was sick. I remember going in the office. Who did the squat lecture that day? You did squat lecture. And then who did squat platform?
I don't know, Phil, probably.
Phil. No. It was Phil, because Phil called in sick. He was in Vegas with us too.
Right. Yeah, Brogy did it.
So Brogy did the squat. So I didn't really have anything to do all day Saturday. So I got there I stayed in town that night. Got a hotel room, stayed in town. I got to the gym about 9 o'clock. And the lecture started at 8. Came in, listened to it for a while, made sure Nick didn't fuck anything up too bad. And then I went in the office and took a nap because I was just tired. I slept all night. I was tired. I went in and took a nap for about an hour, got up, supervised a little more because without my supervision, it's not really a productive event. So went back, took another nap. I took 4 naps that day. It was just exhausted. Like I just overtrained real bad or something like that. Went got something to eat that night. Went back to the hotel. Slept all night. Woke up. Still felt like shit. Came in the gym that morning. Took another nap. And then by about 3 that afternoon, I was pretty much okay. And, I was coughing. And hell, I'm still coughing.
That's not
I think,
though.
no, I cough all the time anyway because of the
I
old.
remember telling you were patient 0 in Wichita Falls.
I could very well have been patient 0 in Wichita Falls.
Absolutely.
Could very well have been. But I've been patient 0 with the coughing thing for about 12 years. So
But you didn't get pneumonia.
But I didn't get P pneumonia.
ERs for you.
No. They did not shut down Applebee's for me either. No. You know how helpful that's been? Keeping people out of the ER. Shut down the Applebee's. You just removed a major disease vector here in Wichita. I think they'll sue us for that. You probably ought to edit that out, Rusty.
Okay.
But if you don't, I don't really care.
Okay.
I mean, Applebee's has more important shit to do than sue me, you don't think?
Like serve shitty
Like
food.
serve shitty food once they get back open,
Yeah.
Oh, my God. So, I don't know. We'll keep you posted here to the best of our ability. The situation right now is we're just all disgusted. And you think I ought to tell them we're open?
Yeah.
I probably should. Go ahead. Wichita Falls Athletic Club reopened Monday morning. at noon, and we're open for business. And here's my reasoning. Okay, this is the most fucked up thing that's ever happened in the United States. It really is. Where various government entities nationwide, federal, state, county, local, have determined that they have the ability to decide whether your business is essential or non-essential. Now think about that awesome power. Now, there is a thing called the law of unintended consequences that people are going to be refreshed about over the next few months and years. All right, and one of the unintended consequences of declaring all business is either essential or non-essential is the fact that it changes investment decisions across the whole economy. It changes investment decisions. So Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot are open, right? Little garden shop here in town is not open because to buy bedding plants from a small local business is, of course, dangerous. But buying those exact same bedding plants to do exactly the same thing with them from Lowe's and Home Depot is just fine. That's perfectly reasonable. It's a perfectly reasonable thing to do. So what did you just do to the value of our little local garden shops here in Wichita Falls? What did you do to it? What did you do to the value of every gym in the United States? What did you do to the value of every gym chain in the United States? If you're an investor, where are you going to put your money? What is essential? What does that mean? Well, my calculus here is it's essential for me to be open. It's essential for my employees to have a job. It's essential for my members to stay healthy. So I've decided that I'm essential and I'm open. And if it costs me some fine money, then it does. If it costs me going to jail, you'll get to see it all on the internet. And that'll be entertaining, won't it?
I just want to have signs that say free rip.
Free rip.
T-shirts.
Free all political prisoners.
T-shirts with your emoji on it.
Yeah. Oh God. Well, think of those, man. Well, think what the favor they'd be doing.
We'll have Leonard Peltier on the front.
You know, we would.
And Rip on the back. Leonard Peltier on the front. Can I be on the front?
Sure.
Let's put him on the back.
We would make money you going to jail. by
Oh, I
selling
know.
T-shirts.
Oh, it'd be worth a bunch of money for them to take me to jail. I suspect that's why they probably won't do it, but we'll see. We'll see. Everybody, it's here. It is middle of the week. Everybody's making noises at all levels of government. Like maybe we're going to allow businesses to reopen. I love that word. Allow. You're going to allow me to use my property? Well, I don't know what I'm going to do about my property taxes yet. Since you didn't allow me to use the property that you're taxing me the value of, since you didn't allow me to use my property, I didn't have the opportunity to make the money that I would then pay my property taxes out of. Possibly that's something that should have been thought about before. But once again, the law of unintended consequences. Boys and girls, you're going to hear more about that. You're going to hear more about the law of unintended consequences. And lots of you that are currently focusing entirely on this disease are going to get an extremely important lesson in how economies function over the next several months. You're going to understand how any little artificial perturbation in the immutable law of supply, demand, price, any little perturbation in that results in ripples that go way, way out from the central event. And you can't tell what shape the ripple is going to be 5 or 6 events removed from where you are. Hell, 2 or 3 events removed from where the plop goes in the pond. All right? Now, there'll be people right now are out there saying, you irresponsible bastard! You're exposing people to disease. Well, that's an interesting perspective, okay? Considering the fact that no one is forced to come to my gym. No one is forced to come in the gym. No one's forced to join the gym. No one's forced to train with us. I'll tell you that we are enforcing our little 6-foot rule, but that's kind of what happens in a barbell gym the size of ours anyway. Nobody's within 6 feet of you unless they're spotting you on the bench, and we've got the racks set up so that we don't have to spot. I have signs up that instruct you to wash your hands coming in for 30 seconds. Wash them when you leave, before you leave. Wipe all the equipment down with acetone or alcohol. People don't understand acetone's a real good disinfectant. It might be more widely available right now than alcohol, but I just spilled the beans on that, didn't I? But all this, all these precautions we're taking, we're not asking you to be stupid, but we got to train. We have to train. We have to be in business. With the disease profile I just talked to you about in Wichita County, if you are terribly worried about this, then you have the option to stay home. We're not going to go get you and make you lift. We're not going to make you train, but we're going to give you the opportunity because that's what you paid us to do. Okay? Now, one of the most devastating things about the aftermath of all of this shit is the thing that it's going to do to trust between people. One of my members was leaving yesterday, and he walked out on the front porch, and there are 2 people parked in a car on the corner. And they are sitting in the car in the corner, and they're looking at the door. Both these people are wearing masks. They're little COVID masks in the car. They had the windows up in the car. And they see us walk out on the front porch. They slowly drive around the corner, and both of them are on their cell phones, looking at the door. Now, what do you suppose they were doing? This is the kind of shit, I remember a long time ago, the local biker gang here in Wichita Falls was called the Scorpions. They had a shirt that said, "Snitches are a dying breed." What is it about the human race that makes individuals within the human race so goddamn happy to rat people out? What is it about the activities of other people that drive you to tattle on your little brother? You're tattling on your little brother or your big brother.
Yeah, it's just control.
It's just a plea for some level of control, isn't it? Helpless little farm animal motherfuckers like this.
My neighbor from across the street last week called the cops on us because we have a van parked in front of our house. It's illegally parked. The tags are good. It's our van. We drive it around, but they don't like the way it looks, so they called the cops on us.
Called the cops on your van?
On a van.
What law was being, or what suggestion was being ignored by the parking of your van on this? Did they come talk to you?
Cop came by and said, "Yeah, we got a call about this van. Is it yours?" I'm like, "Yeah," and he goes, "I don't know why I'm here, man."
Yeah. I don't know about where you guys are. I'm convinced our cops are not happy about being put in this fucked up situation.
They can't be.
These guys are humans. Majority of them are humans. They're not interested in pushing people because they live here. And they're our neighbors. And they're just as pissed off about this as we are. But here, some fucking farm animal snitch, calls in the rat outline that the county and the city governments have established for the use of these subhuman parasite motherfuckers, and have made it good to snitch, right? And made it easy to snitch. And if they get a call, they've got to go do something about it, right? They don't want to do that, but that's just, they got to do their job, I suppose. And I don't know. It's just a sad commentary. What does this do to trust within a community? If it was low previously, I mean, you go outside and you look at everybody and you say to yourself, did you rat me out? Are you going to snitch me out for trying to do the right thing and be open here? Which one of you people in the neighborhood here called in? If I don't like them already, I'm really unhappy with them now. And that's not good. That's not good for society. This is a horrible thing that's happening. And it's all happening because people are afraid of getting sick. Well, I've got some news for you. Getting sick is part of living on the planet. It's just the way it's always been. It's the way it always will be. We can't control viruses. We can try to stay healthy so that when we do get sick, it doesn't kill us. But at some point, if you are old and you're already comorbid because you're diabetic and fat and smoke, then you get a deal like this comes along, and yeah, you might die. But you knew that when you started smoking. Now, didn't you? If you smoke, you have demonstrated by the length of time that you've smoked that you don't really care about dying from a respiratory illness. Now, do you? You enjoyed the nicotine so much. And now enjoy the effects of the inhaling of smoke of a burning plant. Okay? I don't care if you smoke. It's not my business. But if you smoke and you become a statistic and they use your statistic to close me down, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck off. Die. Hurry. Please. The worst thing about smoking is it doesn't kill you in 2 weeks. If it killed you in 2 weeks, I wouldn't have to smell it. Jesus Christ. All right, so enough of that shit. All right, now. We got a group of questions here that are prompted by the current COVID-19 situation. Can Rip maybe chime in on the absolute shortage of equipment and people gouging on the secondary market for trash strength training tools? This is an excellent question. It's excellent for a couple of reasons. All right. The absolute shortage of equipment on the market right now is a result of the fact that people want to train. And people aren't being allowed to train at commercial gyms because they might get sick at a commercial gym, which, could have happened last year too, but never mind that. All right. This year is different. This year, you're not allowed to get sick. You're motivated to train. So what are you going to do? You're going to try to buy some equipment. All the equipment manufacturers are slammed right now. I don't know if there's an iron plate available for sale in the United States right now. Bree, see if you can get on eBay and see if anything's for sale. I've been kind of told that it's not.
The price gouging thing's interesting.
That's what I'm really interested in discussing is the price gouging thing. the shortage of equipment. Now, what we're going to recommend, of course, is starting strength equipment. Our friends at Texas Strength Systems. I've talked to Wes down there. Just talked to him again this morning, in fact, and recommended that he put together a package, a starting strength home gym package, and provide a little discount off his individual piece price for all of this stuff. I think he's got a source of plates. We'll see. But it'll be, the idea is a starting strength bar from Caps Welding and the rest of the equipment from Texas Strength Systems, shipped to you, a turnkey gym. And this solves a lot of problems for a lot of people. So I'm trying to help these guys get that all put together right now. And buying stuff from us helps us out. See this lovely shirt I've got on? Go to our store, buy something from us. We're trying to provide you guys with service and products and information through these trying times. And we would appreciate your business, okay? Now, the interesting part of this question is the gouging on the secondary market for trash strength training tools. Now, let me point something out. I made a comment earlier. Supply, demand, price. All right? Now, this is just as much the law as is gravity. All right? A thing is worth what you will pay for it. And what you will pay for it is determined entirely by your value, the value you place on the thing you want to buy. That value is yours to decide. And you decide that value based on supply. How much of it is there? If you want it really, really, really bad, and there's not much of it to buy, what does that do to the price? Every single time. Whether it's shrimp or toilet paper or barbells, what does it do to the price? If the supply is low and the demand is high, the price tells you that, doesn't it? Supply, demand. Price is a piece of information about the value the market places on a commodity. This is just basic economics, all right? And those of you that don't know basic economics, as I mentioned earlier, are about to learn some things about economics. You know the best way to make no plywood available in a community hit by a hurricane? The best way to make no plywood available is to price control it. How many times do you fucking idiots have to see this take place in front of you before you understand that price gouging is merely the market's response to a situation that keeps supply available? You want plywood to be $25. I understand that. But if every window in town is blown out and we need some plywood, do you not understand it's worth more now than it did before the hurricane blew all the windows out? That this equation changes with circumstances? And to charge $100 for it merely means that you do, in fact, get to cover your windows. Well, if you want it, I understand you want it available for $25, but if you insist that it stay $25, it's all going to get bought. It's all going to get bought and used in a way that does not reflect your assignment of value to covering up the windows. It's going to get put into floors and other non-essential stuff. But if the price goes up, people who actually need it will at least have it available to them. Because this is the way the market operates. Prices are data about value. Now, if you're looking for exercise equipment right now, and you really, 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 really want a bar, you may have to pay a lot of money for a bar because there aren't any bars. Okay? And if you pay more than you want to for a beat up, shitty, rusty, used bar, welcome to New America, where people besides the market get to determine how goods and services are allocated. Because that's what essential, non-essential means. It's the government allocation of goods and services. Now, can you think of an example of a situation where the government allocated goods and services? Might that be the case in the Soviet Union? Might that be the case in East Germany?
That's so long in the past.
It's so long in the past that I can just dimly remember it myself, because at 64, my memory's so bad. What about a modern example? How about Venezuela? Is the government in a situation in Venezuela where it's allocating the... That doesn't apply. They weren't doing it. Just the wrong people were in charge. The wrong people were in charge of that. That's exactly like saying, Nazism is really not a bad system. It's just that Adolf Hitler was the wrong guy. He was the wrong guy to administer it. It had never been tried correctly. What we need is democratic Nazism. And then everything will be okay. Yeah. Economics, okay? Here is a wonderful idea. There's a book by a man named Henry Hazlitt. If you can talk Amazon into shipping you a book right now, Economics in One Lesson. Get it and read it and shut up until you've gotten Economics in One Lesson and read it. All right? Here's another idea. Albert J. Nock wrote a book called Our Enemy, the State. That's also a very important thing for you to understand. Get it and read it. Our Enemy, the State. If you can talk Amazon into shipping you a book right now.
Everybody's upset about price gouging in the spirit of fairness.
Fairness.
There's no other fair way to do it other than for prices to reflect actual
prices. The only fair way to allocate goods and services is to allow the market to decide where the goods and services go based on what the market is willing to pay for them there. That's because anything else involves somebody that doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, saying, let's send all the plywood. Well, it wouldn't be fair to send all the plywood to New Orleans. Let's send, you've got to send, let's say, a fourth of it to New Orleans and the rest of it goes to South Dakota. Yeah. Because it's not fair any other way. Fair. What must it be like to look at the world through a child's eyes? Well, I mean, it's not fair that there's no Easter Bunny. I want there to be an Easter Bunny, and it's not fair that there's no Easter Bunny. It's just not fair.
Yeah, you got a lot of guys out there who are upset because they need to buy a barbell, and some guy down the street is selling it for double.
Some guy down the street wants $300 for his used barbell.
Somebody else is going to pay that money.
How bad do you want it? How bad do you want to train? Somebody else will buy it for $300 if you don't. And you're all ass hurt because it's a used rusty barbell. Well, you can brush the rust off of it. You can oil it. And the fact you paid $300 for it is just reflective of the fact that your government has fucked this up. It's not the barbell owner's fault. It's the government's fault. Keep that in mind when you vote, okay? All right, dear Papa Rip, while gyms are closed, what programming would you recommend for a novice with access to only a bar and plates? What would be the most productive way to organize training around deadlifts, cleans, and presses? Should squats be substituted with front squats for a clean? How about rows, RDLs, and the et cetera? Well, this has been dealt with at length on the board. And I think I've got all of those questions down in the general Q&A or the general programming forums of the boards. There's 10 or 15 threads about this down there because people keep posting the same question without having read what we've already written about it. Andy Baker has got a program available down there. But here's the bottom line, kids, and we talked about this before. If you don't have access to the squat, the bench press, the deadlift, the press, and power clean, then you can't do the program. All right? Now, you can do what you can do, and that's better than nothing, but it's not the program. All right? If you can't squat, your deadlift will go a long way toward keeping you strong. But the whole program is the whole program. We can't redo the program because we can't redo physiology and anatomy to circumvent the problems caused by the government's reaction to the COVID-19 virus. That's their fault, not ours. Now, if you can't squat, your squat's going to go down. Now, you can deadlift. You can get your deadlift up. You can clean and press. You can clean. You can snatch. You can learn how to power snatch. There's all kinds of things you can do. You can't front squat because you're not going to be able to clean as much as you can front squat, and front squats are just a clever way to leave the hamstrings out of the squat. It's not a squat. I am assuming that eventually, although I don't actually know this to be true, I'm assuming that the fitness industry will be back online within a few months. But I don't know. I have no way to know that. I don't know whether the government is going to allow us to go in a big building together ever again. You know, and even more important than that, after this COVID-19 thing passes, what happens the next time there's a novel flu that comes through? We're going to shut the whole goddamn thing down again? How long can civilization last with that threat hanging in the air? So I don't know that you're going to get back to the gym. It might very well be that the best answer to this is to implement the principles that you've learned out of the book with the equipment that you've got and figure out a way to make a rack so you can squat. Now I'm on record as saying, why would you build a rack out of wood? Would you build a car out of wood? Doesn't make a lot of sense. But if you have to have a rack and you got some 4x4s and you're careful, maybe you can figure out a way to squat. Certainly not optimal. It's certainly less safe than an actual rack would be. But if that's your only option, maybe you better figure out a way to exercise it. Yeah, you can row. You can clean, you can snatch, you can do all kind of stuff. But if, there's a bunch of these questions are asking about the loss of gains that are going to accompany a lack of training. Well, if you quit training, even if there's not the specter of death stalking the land, you're going to detrain, because that's physiology. It hasn't got anything to do with infectious disease. It's got to do with the stress, recovery, adaptation cycle, which is kind of like the supply, demand, price relationship. It's the law. We don't necessarily like that, but that's, I don't like the fact that I dropped one of my nice glasses in the goddamn floor last night and broke it. It's a gravity thing. But nothing I can do about gravity, except be more careful, right? So you're in a similar situation. You've got stress, recovery, adaptation that rules what we do in the gym. And then you've got supply, demand, price that rules what you do outside the gym. You'd better keep both of them in mind, because they're both very, very important, and they're the law. Am I going to lose my gains? Just over 2 months on my linear progression, made good progress. I'm sorry. You're probably going to lose some of your gains. You can't air squat and keep them. Air squats make your squat go down. You can't do 100 push-ups, 100 chin-ups, 100 sit-ups, and 100 air squats. It makes your strength go away. You just want to be sore, go ahead and do that. But sore and strong are two different things entirely. They're absolutely unrelated. We've talked about that several times. If you're just looking for a way to get sore, just jump off of the car and land spread eagle on the driveway. If you're very careful about how you land, it will produce a very satisfying total body pain experience. Kind of like 100 air squats and 100 push-ups, 100 chin-ups, 100 sit-ups. If all you want to do is hurt, just do that. Takes less time too, and is almost as productive. Okay, here's a question from the UK. You poor bastards in the UK. You didn't ever understand that you guys are trying to chase down communist China. I think you've damn near caught him. 29-year-old UK Liverpool listener here, been doing linear progression 6 months, 3 times a week, habit, part of our government has just announced that it is now illegal to go to the gym, indoor and outdoor. Consequently, all gyms in the UK are now closed. Nobody knows when everything will reopen, if at all. I live in a terrace house. I do not have the space to do effective barbell training. I don't have a barbell, plates, or training equipment in my home. Listen to this amazing statement here. We are allowed outside of our homes for 1 exercise session a day, as long as we're not in a group.
So
we are allowed outside. People at the All Red unit out here at the penitentiary have the same situation imposed upon them for having committed
What's
a crime.
the implication there? That an officer, a cop, can walk up to you and say, "How many times have you been out today?"
How many times have you been out today? 2, sir.
Fuck.
Well, you're coming with me. Let's go downtown.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, God. He's at a loss on his options to do any kind of effective strength training. What the hell do I do? I don't know, Johnny. I don't know. I don't know. Strength training seems to me is the least of your concerns right now. Let's see. Dear Rip, you said many times that one's body will adapt to progressive overload. Tendons, ligaments, muscles, even bones adapt by getting a higher bone density. But what about spinal discs? Do the spinal discs adapt to a progressive increase in axial loading? Well, yeah, they do. If so, how? Well, they get better at being spinal discs under a load. Whatever the adaptation would be that would make them denser, and I don't have all the protein composition changes and all the histology details, but they get thicker and stronger and denser. And if you want the actual cellular activity, I don't know, that's probably a graduate level question, but why would you think a bone would adapt when the connective tissues and cartilages in between those bones did not adapt? Adaptation occurs in all these tissues as long as they're alive. Hi, Rip. Current situation. Stuck at home, limited equipment. Pull-up bar, adjustable dumbbells, metal table frame works great for dips, some resistance bands. No proper way to do squats or deadlifts. Do you see a pattern here? This is why we don't like totalitarianism. Because we have assigned ourselves a set of priorities. We've decided what we want to do with our lives. We have thought about this, and we've come to the conclusion that here are the things we like to do every day. And here's why we like to do it. And by God, we're going to do them this way. Until someone else in authority over you decides that you can't. And it's not any fun, is it? It's not fun. No matter what reason they give you for telling you you can't do what you want to do. It's not any fun, is it? Well, not only is it not any fun, but it causes problems, as we've mentioned, all the way through society. You know, now we had some dumbass on the board say you can't squat your way out of COVID-19. What an astonishing statement. You know, no one has suggested that you catch COVID-19 and you start training. No one suggested that. What we have suggested that if you have been training and you do catch COVID-19, you'll have an experience more similar to mine than you will have similar to your 79-year-old grandmother's who has COPD and diabetes and osteopenia, osteoporosis. You know, I'm going to be okay. Although my O2 sat might be damaged for a while, if not permanently, and it is, you know. But what's going to happen to her? Well, a different thing that happened to me because I'm training, because I squat. I didn't squat my way out of it. I squatted my way around it. See the difference? So, it's frustrating. It's so frustrating. So frustrating. You think you got your shit together. You think you've made plans. You think you're doing things the way you want to do them. You think that you've got some measure of control over the bad things that can happen to you. You do the right thing. You invest. You train. You get strong. You make yourself healthy. You think you're in a better position to provide for you and your family in the worst of situations. And then somebody comes along and takes advantage of this flimsy circumstance. Wichita County, no deaths. 58 confirmed cases in 131,000 people. 5 of them in the hospital. Nobody in the fucking ICU. But we can't go get a sandwich for lunch. Okay? So, you know, I mean...
Well, here comes the victory dance, too, like in a week. Like, it worked. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. When they finally relax, what they're going to say is, see... 56 cases. You know why there's only 56 cases? Because we put everything on lockdown. You know what? I get home every night. I climb up my little hill and I get home every night. And I get in the yard and there are no tyrannosauruses roaming around in my yard. And you know what my dogs say? See? See what a good job we've done?
Every day the mailman comes,
every day.
And the dog loses its mind. And what does the mailman do? He goes the fuck away.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. He puts some shit, he messes around outside, puts some shit in this little thing out there and leaves. Ha! Ran him off. Yeah, that was always built into the... That was built into the equation, wasn't it, from the beginning? See? We saved your life.
And if it would have been the other way around, it was because you didn't follow them.
Yeah. If everybody died, well, we tried.
Yeah.
You know, no way to lose. No way for them to lose. Once again, I ask, how many bureaucrats have lost their jobs? Is there any data on that, Bree?
Do you really
say Google bureaucrats out of work?
How many gave up their paycheck?
Yeah, how many turned their paycheck in?
Yeah.
You know, to the relief effort. Yeah.
She's really searching for it.
She's searching real hard, isn't she? Oh, God. Look at all these questions. Shit. You know, I'm not in the mood. I'm sorry. And I can't stand it. Not in the mood. You know, the guys in my band show up to play, and I just, you know, we hadn't played in a week and a half. This thing is so affected everybody, not just me, so profoundly. I just can't concentrate, can't sleep. I'm drinking too much. You know, everybody drinks is drinking too much right now. You know, going to the store is such a big giant pain in the ass. Hadn't had an apple in 3 weeks. Oh my God. These idiots are preventing people in various places in the country from buying garden seeds. I mean, there's like this fucking bitch that's the governor of Michigan. Looks like Julianne Moore, you know, MILF, the MILF governor of Michigan. Says you can't buy garden seeds. Oh my God. Things are just, you know, petty tyrants. The rise of the petty tyrant. That's what this history will look at. This episode in American history is the rise of the petty tyrant. Every state, county, and local official has taken the opportunity to be in charge. Right? And it's just not good. The only thing I can do is hope that the portion of the population with balls stands up on their hind legs and does something with them. I can only hope that the portion of the population that are the livestock animals stay out of the way while the rest of us try to get something done here. Okay? Be safe this week. Be careful. Use your judgment to the best of your ability. And we'll see you next week here on Starting Strength Radio.